Coach Skellie, brother, pleasure having you, man.
Yep, nice
Good to see you.
My
Yes,
pleasure.
sir. So what you been up to? Where you been at?
I live in Denver.
Yep.
So not far from Hopewell,
Uh-huh.
where you and Matt went. Been almost 7 years now. I think 2019 I got the house. So I've been busy with that, teaching, coaching
Yep.
there in East Lincoln High School. I left Hopewell after 7 years. I was like 4 years. It was my 5th year at that school.
At Hopewell?
I was at Hopewell for 7 years. And this will be my 5th year already at East Lincoln, starting this
Oh,
school
wow.
year coming up. Yeah.
How many years have you been teaching already?
So it's, dang, it's already been 14 years, yeah. Or, no, 13 years. It started 2014, 15.
Wow.
I got done playing pro ball, and then I was getting my master's, and I went first job in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, out by the beach. I'm talking nothing. Like 2-street light town.
Doing coaching? Or?
Teaching and coaching,
Yeah.
yeah. There's from like my school from my house to the school, the only thing was like Swan Quarter ferry to go to Okook Island there. There's
Okay.
nothing.
I know where that's at.
Bear crossing signs. I'm like, man, I see deer crossing signs, but like, where am I at? But
How'd you end up over there?
honestly, I was in grad school, got done playing pro ball, and I was working like 3 or 4 jobs. And the head coach of the college I was coaching at, I ran out of the room, and I remember summertime sitting there without the air on. I'm like, man, all these kids have a job their parents hooked them up with, and I was like, you know what? Complain about it, ain't doing nothing. So I just went online and did one of those programs where you supply to all the schools in North Carolina or whatever, put your resume out there.
Yep.
Got a phone call from the principal, and I said, all right, I'll be down. And my dad, they looked at it, the map, my dad's like, there's nothing around, right? I'm like, yeah, make anything work for, a year. And that was always my mindset, with the whole like dieting and stuff too. Hey, you can make it work for 2 weeks, or it's just stages,
Sure.
So I remember driving there, and I go past like Greenville where ECU is at. I'm like, all right, not bad. Kept going. I saw Washington, North Carolina, which is a smaller area. And I'm like, okay, it's a little less, but I can make this work. And then I saw nothing until my little town, Belhaven, I lived in. And I was like, all right, it's going to be interesting. 2 gas stations and a food line,
Wow.
and nothing. I mean, I was going,
Only one high school?
yeah, and the high school was 30 miles away. So I had to go like roughly about 120 miles a day to go to teach. And then met a good friend of mine and go to the gym in Washington. It was a grind, but it was a great experience. Like Walmart was 30 miles away.
Wow.
So it makes you really appreciate when I came here, like it's kind of my hometown. Like, wow, it's nice. Walmart's right around the corner. Harris
Sure.
Teeter. It was a very, very eye-opening experience. It was the poorest area in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So it was a culture shock. But
What year was this?
2014, 15.
And then you winded up coming over to Charlotte?
Yeah, there is a supplement company because I got into men's physique competing after pro ball, and they sponsored me, and I came here to work for them in the summertime, and I would just go to local gyms and set up a table, protein samples, and I lived in this massive house in South Park with the owner, and then
With the supplement owner?
Yep. Yeah, they were
Nice.
called Eat the Bear. They shut down. They closed a few years ago.
Okay.
But they're up in BB&T building. And so I would just go to local gyms in Charlotte for any events. And he'd pay me, and then I lived above his garage.
Nice.
In like a really nice apartment. I mean, it was, a few doors up from Kemba Walker. I mean,
Yep.
it was a beautiful home.
Yep.
And I just said, you know what? The guy actually brought up, like, why don't you look for jobs here? And so I did, and Hopewell, they reached out to me, and I actually applied while I was doing a show in Pittsburgh, virtual, and then that was it. Stayed here, and that's all she wrote. So
Nice. Heck yeah. So when you came over to Hopewell, what type of change was that compared to the school that you currently came from near Belhaven?
it was a big change. I mean, the Hopewell was a lot bigger, obviously. The school, it was called Madam Mesquite High School. It was K through 12. They say 13 because they go to junior college. But it was 500 kids total.
Wow.
So I have
okay.
a PE class of 4 kids.
Wow.
And like I said, they're very, very poor. So I left there, and my goal was always to go to a school and make an impact somehow. So I turned a science room, legitimately, I have pictures, but a classroom into a weight room. Took the books out of there, we put a floor down, we welded our own squat racks. We got scrap metal, the kids made them. I mean, they bring their 4-wheelers and tractors to school. Like, that's the kind of area it was. And so renovated the weight room there, and I got a grant for like 10 grand and that's what brought me here to a company, Charlotte Fitness Equipment or something like that.
Okay.
Came here to get an estimate to order stuff, and then I kind of just stayed. And I got to Hopewell. I was all right. This is more what I wanted. Like the school was really nice. You're in Charlotte.
Yep.
I was young, and when I got to Hopewell, they had a weight room, but it was the extra gym. It was huge, but once again, older stuff, not the best. So I took it as another challenge. All right, well, I'm here. I want to try to make an impact and build a new weight room, which we ended up doing. And I think that was after you were gone. I think Matt was there, I think, for like a year or two when we got a grant and money from Charlotte Mech, and then they picked six schools to redo it. And so I customized it and put a new weight room in, and then I moved on. So
Nice.
It was,
You were part of that process?
yeah, I did all of it. So
Nice.
I met with a guy to figure out what kind of racks I want, the setup and everything.
Nice.
And I knew Hopewell was a good fit for me when I got there. At that time, the staff and whatnot were good. And I just saw it was a place where it was an opportunity to grow, not only as a teacher and a coach, but a person. Just because the demographic of kids was very, very large. You had some kids, I had kids who were Bloods and Crips or homeless, and I had kids, living in Birkdale driving a Mercedes to school.
Sure.
Who say have the good life, but it's not always the case,
Right.
So
Yeah.
I love that part of it, the kids, So it's it was hard to leave a little bit.
Yeah, for
you know?
sure. So you definitely made a lot of connections, obviously. I mean, even us, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I looking back, I met a lot of connections, and some of the students I still talk to, and they're
Nice.
successful now. And that was the best part about it. Seeing kids I had one kid, I won't say his name, but he was a Crip, and he had been in and out of Turning Point and trouble and everything, and he came back from Turning Point, and the principal wanted him to be in my weight training class because she would kind of give me the kids that needed guidance, more or less. And at first he didn't want to, and the principal said, well, tell Coach Skellie why you don't want to be in his class. It's like, oh, you don't F with me. I said, well, I don't know you. I know you have a past. That's obvious. We all know it. I said, but that's why it's called the past.
Yep.
I've never met you, so I can't judge you off that. We're going to start in the present, and if you want to, join the class. If you don't lift, you're going to fail. Still like you, but that's just how you give me effort, you're good. And we ended up connecting. Talked to him one day for quite a while. He had a lot of trauma in his life. That's why he was acting out, and the drugs and the fighting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was in weight training class, he'd be just doing 20-pound curls, just be grunting anger. And I was like, this is what it's about right here. And one day I stopped the whole class, and I was like, all right, all your effort, it just sucks right now. Can you guys give me a tenth of what he's doing? And after class, he stopped me. He's like, hey, Coach, thanks. I'm like, for what? He's like, well, this is the first time I was made a positive example of me. I said, well, it's just facts, bud. And I said, but I can see I can see how important this is for you, because I can see the anger, the frustration. That's good about lifting. You're getting out there instead of retaliating, acting up, getting in fights. Right. Kid ended up sitting in the front row of his classes, was getting A's and B's, and then unfortunately I left. But he ended up graduating and stuff like that. I use that story all the time because he just needs someone to believe in him, and that's, as a teacher and coach, I feel like God gave me a special talent, skill, and I just be myself with the kids and grew with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those kind of kids are why I love being there. The school now, the kids still need mentorship, but they've been wonderful for me with all the stuff I've been going through. People don't realize how smart kids are, how genuine they are, and to me, that's the best part of teaching and coaching, because it ain't the paycheck.
Right.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, heck yeah.
But yeah, that's why being Hopewell, meet Matt and stuff, and when things happen, with you guys, I was the first person you call, stuff like that, and they're like, I can see it all to this day where I was standing, where I went, and that's what makes their career so rewarding for those who kind of just believe in the kids and give back.
For sure.
So.
No, definitely.
Escape the ordinary cruise into comfort and freedom with classic Current rentals. Spacious, stylish, built for unforgettable moments on the water. Whether you're relaxing with friends or celebrating under the sunset sky, there's no better way to ride the waves. Book your adventure today with Classic Current Rentals, the lake's premier pontoon rental service. Easy, affordable, unforgettable, because great days start on the water.
Definitely. So when you came to Hopewell, did you choose to be a weightlifting coach, or is that kind of where you landed, or did you have like aspirations to do something else, or?
That's what I wanted to do. That was my
Okay.
passion. I
Yep.
did in college a little bit as a
Yep.
GA, and then the college I coached at, I ran their strength conditioning program for the baseball team. So I knew I was doing like health and phys ed, but that was really what I wanted to start. That was my niche kind of. And I used to like personal train with people and the fitness stuff, but I wanted to get more towards back to athletes and kids. So that was, they kind of made that position for me.
Sure.
So pretty much did that the whole time. I would teach a health class here and there, but out of the 7 years, I think 6 years I did just weight training.
Okay.
So
And you still do weight training at your current high school?
yeah, at Eastland High School, yep. I
Yep.
do probably 3/4 weight training, and then I'll obviously have usually once a semester or once a year I'll have a health and PE class, but which
Yeah.
I enjoy that too. Like it's good to break it up, you
Sure.
know. But yeah, it's pretty much been my main focus.
So it's summertime. Is there any like after school? I mean, not after school, but like summer weightlifting programs or anything of that nature that the school offers?
They do it for they'll have like off-season workouts like football and stuff.
Yep.
And honestly, I think the kids just assume I live in the weight room because they'll just call me, "Hey, coach, come out to the weight room."
Sure.
And being with going through divorce and being my girlfriend, like she's very very supportive of it. She's also doing her thing independent. Where it wasn't always the same in the past, so her being supportive of it, I'll be like, "Yeah, guys, I'm over there like unlock the weight room for them." And there'll be times there'll be 5 or 6 kids, some back from college, and they'll lift in the morning. But there's no like set program per se. But I do that outside of teaching, where I'll do baseball, softball instruction, individual
Nice.
training with kids and some adults, in person. I'm trying to get back to doing it online. But over the summertime, a lot of kids they're kind of on their own, but they do get a program from me. So like the baseball kids, they get a summer workout program. It's just up to them to do it. But we try to open it when we can, just to give the kids every opportunity possible. Because, there are times I wish I would have that.
Sure.
So, but no set program. Schools are also kind of weird about that, certain rules and stipulations. But I open it whenever I can for the guys, and they're great if I can't. Like I'll feel bad, like coach is cool, like you got to do your thing. So
Right.
I just try to get back the best I can with that. So
Okay. So where'd you grow up?
up north in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Erie,
So,
Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Okay, in the cold.
Yeah, I call it Erie. I mean, you're talking, growing up, we'd have snow from, Halloween sometimes till April.
Yeah.
It was,
Oh yeah.
when I go back home, like, dang, how did I make it this long? It's depressing as hell here. Like, it's cloudy out all day, even if it's not snowing. My whole family's up there. My sister, her husband, 3 kids. My parents are up there in the wintertime, and they go to Florida in the summer. So I'll see them when they stop by. And then that's pretty much, I left when I was right after undergrad. But like every summer I go play college ball somewhere, like over in the summer league. So kind of left when I was 18.
Sure.
I just been home for breaks and stuff like that. So I've always haven't been a homebody per se. But definitely miss family at times, but they're all up there, and I was there for 23, 24 years. So.
Nice. And you played high school football, and then you transitioned to college, or?
I did. I played football in middle school. In high school, I couldn't do 3 or 4 sports. So looking back, I probably should have kept pursuing football because I've been, tight end or something like that. But I played basketball and baseball my whole life, and then I actually did junior Olympic volleyball. So it's like Olympics for 18 and under.
Okay.
That was dope. Like, I'd watch a lot of cars pay for it. 'Cause my old man was like, if you want it, work for the money, go. But playing kids from like Puerto Rico, Hawaii. I mean, it was a massive event down in 1 year was Austin, Texas, and then the second year was in Louisville, Kentucky.
Nice.
But up north, baseball, volleyball, same time. So I tried to do both, and it wasn't possible. So I quit volleyball and just focused on baseball and basketball, and then went to college and chose baseball and played at Division I school up in New York called St. Bonaventure.
Okay.
They used to play UNC Charlotte, but now they play Davidson because they're in the Atlantic 10. That's how I found out here. Played baseball there for 4 years, and then played pro ball, minor league ball in Florence, Kentucky. They were called the Florence Freedom back then, now the Florence Y'alls. I did that for 2 years. So Baseball is my main sport my whole life, pretty much.
And then you got your gig out in Belhaven.
Yep. And I just took it. I said, my dad's like, well, your health insurance runs out at 26. I mean, he's that dude. Like, the day he said I got a job, I was like, all right, tell me the day you're hired, because he calls health insurance. All right, he's off my health insurance this day.
Nice.
You know, licensed at 17 instead of 16. So I have a job to pay for car insurance. So, happy birthday when you're 17. Here, give me a check for $1,500. You know,
Yeah.
Just how he was. And
Okay.
I was like, shoot, I need a job. And I just see like in life, it's I think every relationship and an opportunity is a stepping stone.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you step off the stone and don't go back, right? But everything's a stepping stone to propel you forward to something else. You know, that's the way I kind of looked at it. I was like, I just need to start, man. Like, oh, it was depressing as hell sometimes being in an old house and cold. I mean, I have a winter hat on at like 55 degrees in my house because I couldn't afford heat.
Right.
And they had behind the house, it was old house, kind of on the water. So they had like a propane tank behind the house. I had to pay to fill it up, and it ran into the house, and this old heater I'd start up. One time about burned my house down, but you could smell like the kerosene ever sometimes, and there was no insulation. So I'd be in there, could see my breath, and I had a winter hat on and gloves, and I was making, I don't know, $1,700 a month at that point. And like an hour before bed, I'd put towels on my door frame, turn on the space heater, and then go in there, get warm, and go to bed. It was kind of almost like a Rocky type deal.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for
But
sure.
it was a struggle, but it was a blessing, you know. And that was my first job, and I said I just need to start. You
Yep.
know, I see an opportunity. I know if I get the opportunity, whether I'm here for a year, 2, 5, it's all about how you look at things, you know. And then things just kind of started falling into place for me. So
Heck yeah. Do you see yourself staying in North Carolina?
yeah, I don't plan on definitely not going back up north per se.
Sure.
You never know where life takes you, but luckily with baseball, I've been able to travel a lot, live in different areas, like for 3 or 4 months at a time. And I will say this area is probably one of the best. You got the mountains close, you got the beach. There's a lot of opportunity for growth and development, and really the weather. Like, you don't have to worry about hurricanes very often or that kind of
Right.
stuff, and cost of living. But I've always been the kind of dude like who's willing to like bounce around. You know, it's like with baseball. It's why it's a life game. You learn to make adjustments, right? Can't hit the curveball in the dirt, which I have nightmares about. You know, eventually I had to make an adjustment to not do it.
Yep.
You know, so I've always been able to go somewhere, adjust, meet folks, make friendships, and then I would kind of go to the next area. But obviously, the older I get, I don't want to be bouncing around every couple of years. So I think this definitely, I see myself staying put, unless some opportunity came up. But either way, I just think that God has a plan for all of us, and end of the day, just kind of lean on Him and just know that hey, there's 2 ways to look at it, and like He does things for a reason. And if He means another opportunity comes up in Georgia, then I trust it and trust my gut, my instinct, but also trust Him. But all right, this is His plan. Like, it's going to work out.
Definitely.
So
No, I agree with that.
You got to take chances in life, man. You can't be afraid
Absolutely.
because you ain't living if you're not.
Absolutely.
So
So you worked during COVID. You were teaching during COVID.
yeah, that was
How did that go? Like, were you still weightlifting?
yeah, that was exhausting. I ended up getting an award actually through CMS. I think one of the parents recommended me, but they only 10 teachers in all of Charlotte Meck got it. And like the governor there, the state, and all this stuff, but it was virtual because it was COVID.
Right.
Normally it's like a suit and tie, real nice event. But it was exhausting because, virtual, we'd have kids with like water jugs, laundry detergent, doing curls, and I do workouts with them kind of. We do push-ups.
Oh, it was virtual weightlifting.
Yeah, it was exhausting at first. I'm like,
So
"Oh, that's a
like
good idea."
you would have to look at them in the camera.
Yep. They had the cameras on for the most part.
And they're doing it at their house.
Yep.
What?
Unless
Okay.
they felt uncomfortable, I was like, but that was like the rule.
Virtual weightlifting. All right.
Yeah, it was. I would be in my garage, or I'd turn my one room. Now it's like a man cave kind of, but like with all my awards and stuff, and made like an office. And then we ended up doing a class vote, which just backfired big time on me. I was like, every Thursday, if depending where they lived, it was safe enough. We're going to watch a video, something motivational about mindset, about nutrition. But mostly it was about mindset and motivation, because during COVID, I know a lot of kids struggled. Like, mental health is a real thing.
Yep.
I experienced that, not myself personally, but with past relationships. And I used to do a thing in Hopewell, like, mental health is real. I think it's downplayed a lot by people, especially older folks. And so I knew kids were struggling. Like, there's no doubt. You're stuck at home all day. Some kids' home is terrible, right? So we would have a video about that, and then we talk about it. We reflect on it. All right, what did you guys get from the video? And we would just have questions, but the thing is, they'd walk, and we'd FaceTime or be on Zoom. So if they could walk, ride the bike, or whatever, and then I'd be walking. So by fourth period, I'm like, dang, this is a really good idea, but I've walked for 3 class periods in a row every Thursday. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
You know? But the kids look forward. They loved it. It got them out of the house. You know, and the kids that couldn't, they just messaged me privately, like, hey, you're good. Like, on the chat, like, you're good, man. Just stay at home. Like, they just couldn't go out, you know? But yeah, and then CMS kind of did.
Why couldn't kids go out? Is it just their area? Or?
Yeah, there's just some kids that are in a bad area.
Okay.
Where they
didn't have a place to walk.
Yeah, they're
city.
Busy roads, but also just a rough area of town where they just didn't feel comfortable.
Sure.
Especially then, because everyone's home. You know, I was like, man, by all means, like, you're cool. Like, you know, like, be safe, but they would stay on the call though.
Did you have any like incidents while on like the video chat or anything like that?
I had one kid like fall was a bike or something or skateboard one time, but I didn't get hurt surprisingly either. So no, like nothing bad happened, you know. And there were no complaints. I mean, I told the kids there's no pressure to it. Like if you want to do this, then we can go out, walk, and reflect. If not, you still have to be engaged, right? Couldn't force a kid to do it, or if they just didn't have the phone ability, like where they could be on the Wi-Fi, but they didn't have data to, you know, be on a Zoom call because just financially they couldn't do it.
What happens at that point?
They would like the rest of us, the kids that could walk, they'd walk.
Okay.
And I would tell them they could keep it. If they didn't want to, if they couldn't walk, I told them, like, you know, you can leave the camera on, or if you feel like you're embarrassed because you can't, just have your camera off. But they would still, I would ask them, like, still be engaged though. Like when I ask a question, either like their screen would light up and I'd unmute them and they could talk, or they type in the chat. You know, so they would still be engaged with the message, but I wasn't going to punish them if it was something out of their control. You know, it's not really fair. And then it was crazy how many kids actually did it and started looking forward to it. They didn't leave the class early. Like I heard a lot of other classes, kids just log out and that was it.
Yep.
And then there were a lot of times kids would ask, like 1 or 2 kids might ask me to stay after and we just talk. They'd be struggling with something because they're home life or whatever it is. Or just,
on video chat?
Yeah. Like the rest of the kids would like go off and I'd stay on because they'd message me and, you know, I'd just have a conversation with them, just you know, things they were struggling with. And my biggest thing is, I think, as an educator, and I think as an adult in general, I think, in my opinion, people want to hold themselves like, I'm an adult and here's a kid. Right? Yes, there's things that you must respect an adult, but at the same time, we're all human. Like, we're all human beings, and these kids that, you know, 15, 16, they're not dumb. They're very smart. Like, they know what's going on, and I just try to relate myself to them. Like, just, hey, here's my problems. Here's what I'm battling. Here's my issues. Like, I'm not, you know, almighty him. I'm not, you know.
Sure.
I'm like, I got problems just like you. How can my experiences and all the struggles I've been through help you in this situation? You know, and it was awesome. It was exhausting, but it was awesome. You know.
At Meineke in Rock Hill, we're proud to be your trusted neighborhood shop for reliable car care and outstanding customer service. Our friendly, experienced team is dedicated to making every customer happy by treating you with honesty, respect, and the kind of care you can count on. Whether you need routine maintenance, brake service, an oil change, tire work, or expert repairs, we're here to help keep your vehicle running in tip-top shape all year long. We know how important your car is to your daily life, and that's why we work hard to get you back on the road safely and quickly. Visit Meineke in Rock Hill today, where quality service, peace of mind, and a better driving experience always come standard.
What percentage of your students you would say that would come to you, like out of like how many out of 10 kids, like on the regular, typically come to you?
I would say, obviously, some issues are more serious than others.
Yeah.
I think at one point, maybe 80%. But every time I also initiate, hey, what's up, man? I can tell like you're off right now.
Okay.
I can just tell their vibe was off, their energy.
And
I'd ask them, and I'm like, if you want to talk about it, I'm here, man. If not, like, it's cool. Like, you know, let's go back doing the class and stuff. And eventually they'd be like, hey, coach, and they, you know, speak up. You know, I could just read them. You know, I could see on their face. And when I was going through my divorce and stuff, they could read me. Because they, yo, you good, coach? And I wouldn't really say anything, but they could just tell. So I would say, honestly, a very good percentage. Like, whether they're an athlete or just a student taking weight training, I try to connect with every kid. You know, walking the track, I try to walk and talk with a kid who's quiet. Some days who's by himself. You know, or just because you never know what I can do for somebody. But I still, like, I got some of my former students working for me with the shoes a little bit, and
Nice.
hit me up when I got the new job or when I was going through, you know, some hard times. They'd just hit me up, you know, hey coach, like, you're the best or whatever. So I would honestly, a very good percentage.
Wow.
Some were extreme where, like, they'd be crying or be upset. I mean, because some of them kids, they got some, I don't cuss, they got some serious stuff. They deal
What
with.
percentage of those kids do you have to pick out versus them coming up and speaking?
I would say out of those kids, probably half or maybe a little more, probably 60% or so, I have to approach, or at least put the bug in their ear. Like, just say a little
Because they
something.
just don't want to
Because
talk?
they-
Or
yeah, I mean, and I think also too, like, as a man, like, we're taught, you know, keep things in. That's tough, right? You know,
Right.
don't show emotion. That's how I was raised, like old school. And I think kids, they try to, just like I'm guilty of it too, try to you can handle everything yourself. So I'll put the bug in their ear, and then I'm good. Eventually, they come around. You know, and I remember some kids though, I can tell there's something really off.
Yep.
Where I'm like, all right, we didn't have to, like, sit your butt down. We're gonna talk.
right.
Like, you can't BS the BS me. That I always said, like, there's something going on, and you ain't leaving until we talk about it. I said, well, you want to or not? I don't care. You sit your ass down. We're gonna talk.
Right.
And eventually, they let it out because sometimes they didn't have a parent to talk to about it. You know, and I told them, hey, no judgment. I said, shoot, you ain't gonna say nothing I haven't experienced or probably done, so that's gonna, like, shock me. So, you know, it still happens to this day. Even the kids who are wealthier and like that area I'm at, they got problems too.
Sure.
You know, and the biggest thing is that building that relationship with kids from the get-go where they feel that they can talk to you. Sometimes I'm like, yo, guys, like, remember, I'm a coach, teacher, like, what y'all do on the weekend? Like, you know, they like, don't realize I'm there. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to walk away and I hear it, you know.
Yep.
But that's a lot of them, really, honestly, and I've never thought about it that way, but a very high percentage,
Really?
you know. So that's the rewarding part, you know.
Do you have kids?
No.
No?
No. My ex-wife and I were kind of trying, and then, you know, unfortunately, we had to split up. So I'll be 37 in August. It'd be great. I'd love to have kids, but at the end of the day, I look at it as I've got 800 kids.
Sure.
My athletes, even if I had kids, they would still be like my child, you know. And my dog, Louie, he's the man. That's why I didn't bring him here. He goes everywhere. He
Yeah.
probably sitting there just chilling, hanging
What
out.
kind of dog is he?
Pyrenees Lab Pit.
Okay. Nice.
Man, he's been great for me there. I'm going through, like, he'll go everywhere, legit. Like, he'd walk around, eventually just sit down and chill, hang out. But
Heck yeah.
I want to have kids eventually. It'd be great. But like I said, you know,
Based upon what you see and your teaching and everything you've been through, would you homeschool your children or put them in school? Public school?
they've been in school, no doubt.
They've been in school, no doubt.
I've seen kids who were homeschooled all the way up to high school. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed it more because at Hopewell, not many kids are homeschooled. Just percentage-wise, there just wasn't the environment, right? But East Lincoln, I've had a few kids who are homeschooled, and you can tell the barrier there with their social
that have
skills.
transitioned into public?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can tell their ability to socialize is different. Some, even if they play a sport, you can still tell. Other kids who have never really been in high school at all, like, they don't understand when they raise their hand to wait to be called on, or attendance, and just how to walk through the hallways. And you could just see the impact it had on their development socially. Now, I'm not saying that, yeah, you can homeschool your kid and have them involved in all these activities, but them going to school on their own without you there, I see how it can affect the development, in my opinion. Like, they learn, it's almost like they're on their own, learn to fend for themselves a little bit. And education-wise, I've seen kids who do homeschooling at all A's, and they go to high school, and it ain't the same.
Really?
You know, just
So
more
with
rigorous.
homeschooling, they still have access to the after-school activities, like sports and things of that nature? Or
Yeah, they can, now that all these charter schools and public schools, they can go to one of those, or they go to the school that's in their, whatever district or boundaries they live in. So if a kid, let's say a kid who's homeschooled and they live in like the Hopewell district. They couldn't go to Huff. They had to go to Hopewell per se.
And do the
And then-
after-school
yep,
activities.
and they could go and practice.
Not
at 3
excluded
o'clock.
from it, no problem.
Nope, they have the option to do that. Just go whatever school is the area that they go play that sport. And I think I haven't had any baseball kids do that, but I want to say there's only like a football kid here or there that has done it. But then eventually I've seen those kids end up transitioning to going to school.
Sure.
I just think it does a lot for the kids in development. Up to 18, your brain still is developing and learning. So I think it teaches them a lot of different skills for life.
Absolutely.
So
Have you ever had a student progress into like a weightlifting champion or anything of that nature?
yeah, I've had quite a few kids who kind of took off from it. One kid, I think he would have been there when Matt was there. His name is Brosad, is what he goes by. He's strapped up now, like cock diesel.
Nice.
He was a wonderful kid. He's still a great young man. Still talk to him. He's a police officer here in Charlotte now.
Nice.
But he just became, a unit. I've had a lot of kids who
I
really.
have to talk to my father-in-law. He's also a police officer in Charlotte.
Yeah, I give him a lot of credit.
You know what division?
I'm not sure. I think my other buddy's in the SWAT team, but I'm not sure. I think he's just right now. He just started. He's fairly new.
Okay.
A couple years in,
Nice.
but he's
Big guy.
really taken into weight training and stuff. I've had a lot of kids, like you'll see them transform, and they'll ask about eating, nutrition, and I have had kids that wanted like when I was in men's physique, they want to get like the bodybuilding, but I've seen a lot of kids that I've taught in the weight room are still lifting to this day. And that was always my goal is I can sit here and scream, yell at you, make you puke, and make it terrible, but I want you to enjoy exercise, enjoy lifting, because it does a lot for you physically, but more mentally. And yeah, I've had quite a few, I think at least one or two that are now like into like teaching, like strength conditioning, but I have tons that are really into it, like ask me diet questions still, and ever since my class. So it makes it kind of fun to still relate to them and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
Do you have any like personal best records? I know you were weightlifting physique one time, right?
Yeah,
You did something as far as tournaments go, right?
Yeah, so like in bodybuilding, I never did like bodybuilding where you like wear the little like marathon thing. I did
Yep.
it one time. Just
What was that called?
That's just bodybuilding, but then you have like different categories. So you
Okay.
have like bodybuilding. You have like men's physique, where that's what I first started doing because it was supposed to be like the average you can do it on the beach, kind of like in shape, but athletic.
Yeah, I saw that. You
like gym shorts.
had
yeah,
the
but now
tan, everything,
Oh
right?
yeah, I was like a giant Oompa walk around.
Yeah?
That was the worst part. I had to be washed off like a skin disease, like after starting being white, then I'm like brown, orange.
So how old were you when you did that?
I started doing that right when I got done playing pro ball. I was probably 22 or 23.
Did you make money with that?
Yeah,
or?
that's kind of what brought me here a little bit. Like
Okay.
Social media was like Instagram was just getting out there, and I was always in shape from playing ball, and I really got my nutrition in my undergrad, and then my master's. I got my master's in health science and nutrition.
Okay.
So I got done playing ball. I was still very, very competitive, and this men's physique had just come out. I'm like, all right, well, this is something I can compete, and it's just me. End of the day, I don't really have teammates or coaches, and it did a lot for me mentally, and I think getting me this far in life because I wasn't the A+ student in school. Like I made sure I went to class. It didn't work because I knew on the test I was probably going to suck. I had to really put in a lot of effort. But when I got into that, the nutrition, the competing, eating every 3 hours, like the structure, of the diet, it really kept me focused on my schoolwork, not procrastinating like I would till like night before.
Sure.
It really changed my life for the better of that constant structure. Like I already had the work ethic and discipline, but
It's really the mindset.
really, yeah. I mean, I'm like, man, if I can conquer this, well then shoot, doing this assignment's nothing, right? And so then I did the men's physique, and I got sponsored by a company, which brought me here, and they paid for. I didn't get paid in cash.
Was this a supplement company?
Yeah, Eat the
Okay.
Bear, yep. I think, like I said, they shut down probably 3 years ago now, but they wouldn't pay me, but I would do those demos. But then they give me any protein, pre-workout. When I would go to compete, they would cover all my
Free rent?
expenses. Yeah, yep. Really, yeah. Nice free rent, too.
Yeah, that's good,
I was
right?
like, house rent off iPads and shit. I'm like, I ain't getting this no more.
Nice, okay.
Embrace what I can. But I went to like Vegas, Jersey, Pittsburgh to compete at
Nice.
one point, the national level, and they cover everything, like hotel, flight. So I'm like, you know what? Well, I'm going to benefit from this experience.
What was the best place you've gotten during competition?
I was always right there at second place. I got first a couple times,
Nice.
but being tall and long, like kind of lanky, there'd be a guy 5 inches shorter than me where I'm like, man, I'm just not going to get that big. I don't want to. It's not conducive for me. And the heaviest I was like, I think 2000. Actually, Matt was at 2018 because that's when I had like an iron issue. But I was like 275.
275.
And I would eat till like by meal 4. I was like, "Where's the garbage can?" I literally would stop walking because I couldn't gain weight because I was just burning calories, and that was like, I'm like, this is just too. I got tired of eating, you know.
What would you eat? Chicken
Same
and rice
thing every
or?
day. Every meal, like breakfast is the same. Like meal 1 through 6, same thing every day.
Whoa.
Chicken, rice, ground beef, salmon, depending on my budget at the time. You know,
Sure.
In the beginning, when in grad school, it was like cottage
So
cheese,
budget also
tuna
plays a
fish.
factor?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I was eating salmon when I was in grad school, you
Sure.
know, and it made it work. But it was just, I measured and weighed everything. I was taking my Tupperware. All right, here's how much rice, how much chicken. So I knew what was going into my body to the, 1 gram, you know.
Okay. Are you as strict with your meals today?
No, hell, not at all.
Okay.
No, I think
Okay.
when I was like 275 and I had an issue with my iron was like deathly low, like it was pretty bad. I was just stubborn. And I think I just ate so much, I just got tired of eating. Like if I saw chicken rice, I'm like, man, give me a piece. Like I just didn't want to eat anymore.
Okay.
But my girlfriend now, she can cook, so it's a little different.
Nice.
I would just put hot sauce in that thing and shove it down. And I got tired of cooking all the time. So now I just kind of eat freely. Like, my girlfriend's like, you eat like crap, but you still stay lean. I'm like, well, I walk all day, And when you train your body, you don't just lose the muscle,
Sure.
But I definitely need to get back on track with a little bit. Maybe not the 6 meals a day, but I eat more free now. But I am still cautious about how much junk.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm not.
I mean, you still look great, man. Absolutely.
I'm trying to lose a little bit just because it's nice to be able to wear clothes.
Sure.
And when you're 265 or 270 and 6'4", like shorts, pants, tearing my quads made it easier to wear shorts and pants now, unfortunately.
I got you.
But yeah, I would tell anyone, like, to a certain extent, getting into it's only to benefit you for other parts of your life, not just to put on a fake spray tan, feel like you're lean and look good, but you feel like crap, and for a plastic trophy.
Right.
And people who need guidance, who are lost in life, who need something to keep them going, that was what got me through my first teaching job, being alone, like literally alone in the house. Like I'd be in the one room I had with a broken elliptical with no lights on at like 4:45 with my phone, watching a video, doing my cardio.
Yeah.
And that's what really kept me going because I saw a goal in mind. If I didn't have that goal, I might have been just dwelling in the negative and could easily been depressed. So I tell a lot of folks, go for it, try it. Just that discipline and structure will give you a lot more success in other parts of your life.
Absolutely.
At any Meineke under the Godspeed Auto Group umbrella, auto repair should feel different, more transparent, and built around people. We proudly own and operate 13 Meineke car care centers across the Carolinas, delivering trusted local service backed by the strength of a nationwide brand. As part of the Meineke network, our customers, including local businesses and fleet operators, benefit from national partnerships, trusted platforms like Groupon, and programs designed to make vehicle maintenance simple, reliable, and convenient. Our no-hassle fleet program is built specifically for businesses that need maximum uptime, full transparency, and a single point of contact. From routine maintenance to complex repairs, we help keep your fleet on the road without the headaches. Every vehicle that comes through our doors receives a full digital inspection complete with real photos and videos. We take the time to walk customers and fleet managers through the inspection results so you can see exactly what we see and approve work with total confidence. All qualifying repairs are backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile nationwide warranty through Meineke. And when you purchase tires at a Godspeed-owned Meineke location, you receive lifetime tire rotation, lifetime balancing, and lifetime tire repair with optional road hazard protection. From the moment your vehicle arrives to the moment it's safely back on the road, our focus is clear communication, honest recommendations, and service you can trust. Godspeed Auto Group is locally owned, nationally backed, and built on transparency. Come visit us at any Meineke under the Godspeed umbrella today to learn more about our No Hassle Fleet program.
Other parts of your life.
Absolutely.
So
What's your favorite part of lifting?
now I just kind of, I used to love moving weight. I used to be crazy. Like,
Yeah, is it
I mean,
just
it's-
getting real heavy, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, I used to get pretty heavy and challenge myself, but now I'm paying for it in every aspect. Like 4 ball discs in my back, spine compressor. I mean, I'm losing some weight recently. It's helped a lot, but I used to just love going and just honestly kick my own ass. Like I'd lift till I puke. I mean,
Wow.
I was a little bit, yeah, I mean, not every time, but
Sure.
like if my strength coach in college, I still talk to him to this day. He said, run to that wall, I'm running to that wall. Like he could hit me and I'd just be yelling, screaming. And he'd push me till I puke and then he'd keep going. You know, I also wasn't, I guess, the most sane in certain
Sure.
aspects, but it was more of like, that taught me a lot of how far you could push yourself, right? So doing that kind of stuff and pushing myself to the limit, it made things in life a lot easier too. If I can sit here and push myself past where my legs can't move, I thought I'm going to throw up. I really can push myself further than I thought. You know, that's what I tell people. You got one more rep. You can always do a little bit more. And when I started doing that, it's like everyday life, like, that's nothing, no big deal.
Right.
You know, but I would say, like, I just like lifting in general. I was pretty good at leg press and stuff, but it was more just the camaraderie of meeting people and just going in there and just killing it. And now I just do it for like 40 minutes in the morning.
You have buddies that you met in the gym?
Yeah, I had some.
Yeah.
I met a lot of good people and friends through the gym, through weight training.
Yeah.
Moving to Denver, I didn't see him as much, but I still can hit him up. One buddy, he owns Elite Fitness,
Okay.
Kevin DeHaven, and I met a lot of guys through there. But him and my buddy Dale do a Bible study on Tuesday nights, so like I'm gonna start going to that. So I've met people that I still stay in touch with, and you know, it's just like a little family type of deal. The gym I used to go to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I go to the new DHF in Denver there, and I just go in the morning. People probably think I'm an ass because I have headphones on. So I got 40 minutes, get to work, walk my dog. So it's super set, in and out. But I still see people I know and say hi.
You still go every day? Or
This
try
summer
to?
was so busy, like really trying to get just dealing with my divorce stuff still, and financially I need to. I know that because it does a lot for you mentally. But I've been trying to get like the shoe thing going. That new business endeavor I'm doing.
Nice. What was your idea behind that? It was just you had a lot of designer stuff you were trying to sell? Or?
I didn't really have anything to sell at first. It was more, I just had to figure out, like, I've always been a kid like that would hustle.
Yeah?
I was like, all right, I want to hustle. I'm going to do it the right way. And what do I see people doing? And I hear my students selling shoes and stuff and like hoodies. And I'm like, well, shoot, if you can do it, hell, I can. So, I'm very honest up front with folks. Like, it's put my back against the wall financially. Just 'cause they didn't have a lot to begin with. But I told my girlfriend, I said, if I'm going to bet on anybody, I'm going to bet myself. And something I never had as a kid. Like, I didn't get designer clothes. I didn't get new shoes every year for baseball or basketball. Like, but that's what you got works. So I think never having that opportunity as a child with getting the Jordans. I never had a pair of Jordans till my girlfriend in college owned a pair.
Sure.
I always wanted them. You know, we go to Value City to get clothes. You know, back then, like the And One or the Reebok. You know, I mean, my parents had money, but my dad was very smart. He didn't believe in materialistic things like image per se. But my mom, she'd sneak stuff in there and be like, "I got you here, honey." Like, you know,
Nice.
Hollister shirt or something. You know, back in the day, those tight Hollister shirts. You know?
Yep.
But I also wanted financially. I was like, okay, this is something where I think I can make money from just connections I have. And tell you what, man, it was good for my mental health too. Like, I've learned how to clean shoes, refurbish them, so like paint them, just kind of get me out of my element a little bit of stress and what's going on. And I just saw the future that financially could really be something because I researched it online. And these people are killing it, and just reselling new, like brand new shoes. Some are worn like once or twice, and then I got like a little bit of like essential clothes. Recently, designer bags, got good deals on some. Like some Louis Vuitton at Coach, and really just trying to.
okay.
The business model is it's called House of Skellie. So you build a house from nothing. That was my philosophy. You build it from the base up, and your house is filled with all sorts of stuff.
Right.
You know, so it's kind of like that aspect. You know, Invicta watches, just more focused on that type of stuff. Though, but my main focus is shoes, and then the sports cards a little bit because I never had it as a kid.
Yeah.
Never had cards, stuff like that. So Now my girlfriend's like, listen, bro, you got to sell that. You can't sit there and stare at this card. I'm like, I know, but it's so cool. I'm like, oh, you're right. And it's been hard to get it going because it's so much to get set up by myself. Seth Christmas, he went to Hopewell. He's kind of been like helping me now.
Nice.
If he doesn't get drafted, he had to work out with the Giants a few weeks ago. If he doesn't get drafted, kind of him and I work out together. And because I've got too much, I'm like, we got a lot. And my girlfriend's like, well, they're all like really good looking shoes. I'm like, well, you're trying to, I don't have any style or taste. Like, you've helped out with that. But we joke about it. But, I got a lot of nice stuff. So I'm not going to put my name behind something that's crappy.
Sure.
But it's just been a new endeavor, a new challenge for me, the biggest thing too. Like, it gives me a new goal, something to get me up every day. It's all right. I got to get rid of this or else I ain't keeping my lights on.
Right.
And I'm just that kind of person, competitive. Like, I think that getting strong in my faith too. I try not to like over the top of it, but then again, I just let it happen naturally. Where time and place, like right now, I think I go to Vision Church on East Independence. Been going since last June with my girlfriend, and the first time we went to was about marriage and divorce. I'm like, Lord, for real? Like, we just started dating like 3 weeks ago, bro. Like, really, right now? Like, I'm just going through divorce, but it crazy how it worked out. And one day they said, with faith, like, God, he picks empty vessels, right?
Sure.
I was empty vessel, there's no doubt. I lost who I was as a person. I used to be gung-ho, like, go-getter. And this, without speaking bad, like, the energy around it or surroundings, it can make it one way or the other. And slowly putting others before yourself in certain aspects. And then, just being around folks that have any type of complacent mindset or negative, like, slowly kind of start losing yourself a little bit. And I really know that I believe wholeheartedly it made it easier. It's like, I think God saw that. I felt it, but I was raised like, you can always work through everything. And I think he put me in this spot that, okay, you need to get back to you. Like, I need to see that dog in you again. Right. I need to see you who's like working hard, getting obsessed about it. And I really think he put me in this position to let me struggle. Then a lot of nights just laying in bed or sitting there crying, like, what the heck, like, just out of frustration, anger. But then I just know that I've been in worse spots. Like in grad school, I'd do a lesson for $40, and that's how I put gas in my car. Or that's how I ate, and those are sometimes the best for my life because it made me elevate to the next level. I think if everything's just easy going, like a lot of folks, they just get, all right, we're 9 to 5, that's it. And right. I was kind of getting there, and realizing I need to be around someone who's got that drive like I have. And it's like my girlfriend now, does professional hair and makeup. She's the GOAT. Like, she's in the SBs, CMAs out in LA and everything. Moving here, she worked for some salons, and then she ended up kind of like, which really attracts me to her is taking initiative. Like, I'm going back to make my own business again here in Charlotte. So she left that salon, and she has her own business now doing hair and makeup.
Nice.
But it's not wedding season. One day she's like, I'm going to do Instacart. She literally signed up that day. I'm doing 2-3 orders. I said, Lord, thank you. Been asking for this for a while. Like, that was me. But that part, based on surroundings, got lost a little bit. And she's been a blessing in that regard. Because her being like that is like, all right, I'm the man. Like, I better be doing that times 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we just feed off each other. So that's why I kind of got into the shoe thing for multiple reasons. And I will say it's kind of cool. I got some fresh ass Jordans and stuff. It's kind of cool to look at them. And it's allowed me to meet people a different way too. It's got me more outgoing. I'll see someone outside. Hey man, I got nice shoes on. Those J's, or man, sick hat. So I like snapbacks and stuff. Once I'm like, all right, I got to market myself here. Like, I'm at the bottom. It ain't gonna happen by itself just by walking around. Like, and I try to wear certain things, and it's actually worked at the gas station. Some dude like, oh, here's my Instagram, man, and just trying to build it from there. It's forced me to say things that I wouldn't normally say to people. Even though I'm social, I'll still walk by someone just like.
No, that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, so I've noticed that. I noticed it last week. I was like, damn, I never would have talked to that dude before, but he had Jordan 1s on, essential shirt, like a nice snapback. I was like, oh, shoot, man, hey, I like your style, I like your hat.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's been it's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's just trying to, I don't sugarcoat things, but like, trying to get, but I never thought I'd be 36, almost 37, being like, all right, man, can I get this right now? Where before I just worked hard. But once again, it's brought out that side of me again, which I think we all need. So It's been dope though. Like it's, my style's getting a little better. I don't wear gym shorts all the time and t-shirts. So it's growing it, but it's done a lot for me mentally, and as well as I know what it will do financially, but more the mental part. It's revived me a little bit, and I just kind of said I'm doing it. Screw it.
So where do you see yourself in like the next 10 years?
On a yacht? No. Honestly, next 10 years, I can say you never really know because I want to make
You
sure.
still want to continue to do weightlifting?
Teach and coach,
Yeah?
yep. I love it. Even if I was to my girlfriend, if I was a multi-millionaire, I could do hitting lessons for nothing, I'd do it. I love, it's a passion of mine.
Mm-hmm.
When the kids want it, I can be there half-hour lesson, it might be an hour. I just get locked into it, Business-wise, not the best. That's where she kind of holds me accountable. Like, hey, you got to respect yourself and your ability, your skill. But I love it, man. It gets me going every day. And honestly, coaching and teaching has gotten me through pretty hard times. The last 4 years, I've torn quads, cracked a kneecap, got divorced. Ex-wife kind of left me right after, paying for everything all the years. It was kind of like a real kick in the nuts a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But it was the best.
How
thing
long
for
were you
me.
guys together on that?
Together 9 years. We're married for 4 years. Yep,
wow.
4 years. So, but like going through that, then I thought I had to sell my house because I had an attorney, which I'm kind of fighting now. He just really did nothing for me. So I was like, man, it's just like boom, boom, like tearing my quads. Couldn't bend my knees for 7 weeks, living down the first floor, and thank goodness, my ex-wife did help me. But unless I was considered desperate myself,
Even with all the problems, it seems like you still have a positive attitude.
I think it's a choice, and I always look at it as like someone else always has it worse, right?
Definitely.
But there's always like
I preach that all the time.
it is. There's like when I wouldn't be able to get out of bed on my own or like get dressed on my own. Like man, there's people every day that someone has to do this for them every day, and they can't use anything. Like think about how they must feel every day. This is short term.
Yep.
So not one time. I think one time I got upset when I tore my quads. Besides that, I was always like, it could always be worse, And I said, hey, what can I learn from this, right? And I just always, God's got a plan, and I, always just believe in that in general, right? And there was when you can't bend your legs, it makes you appreciate a lot of things,
Right.
just being able to go to the bathroom without someone having to help you.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah, that's where I always stay in this profession, just because of it's not the money, obviously. It's rewarding in other aspects. And I tell my girlfriend, I tell people a lot, I'd much rather, when my day comes, whatever it is, I'd much rather die with a million people at my funeral than $1 million in bank account and one person there.
Right.
It's about when we're here, can we make an impact on people's lives? Can we give back to others when in need? And just do it organically, naturally, not to put on your social media. Like, I got to get better at doing that for my business, but I've gotten away from it. Like, some people say, oh, you're awesome. It just do things because you should do them. And I think things just come back to you. Good karma, I guess you could say. But you do good things to people, good things come back to you eventually.
Definitely.
At some point. So
Definitely. What is it about teaching with the kids that you enjoy like the most? I know you say you enjoy it a lot, but like what is like the one thing that you could pick? Is it like the kids build a relationship, or they change by the time you're done with them, or like what is it?
Well, like getting emotional. I say like you guys, like you and Matt, because you were there for like a year or two. I was there, but I really didn't have you in weight training. I had Matt. I'll never forget the first time I cussed him out, but he was a little. He said a word, and I was like, "What?" And I said, "Oh, I'm like, we don't say that." And I just kind of let him have it. But coach, I don't care what they say. I kind of let him have it. He was a little punk at first, kind of, but always made his hair was all pretty and stuff.
Yeah.
And, but we got close, and like now seeing what he's doing, what you guys have been through, where both you guys, and you being the older brother was probably a lot on you too. Like, Matt could have in high school, he could have gone either way, right? And that's kind of why I love teaching and coaching, right? My goal is I want my students, I want you to have more success and live a better life than I ever did, and just to see kids like Matt when now they're older, like man, got families, got people home financially, like they're killing it. He's progressing, like that's end of the day. I'm like, that's what I kind of do it for, just to see if I can help kids in some way. That's probably and it's not for me. It doesn't make me like sleep better at night, It's just I feel that's my purpose. That's what makes me really love it is just see the kids' growth, that's probably my most favorite part. And just the older kids, I can communicate and talk to them during the day. Young kids, they just run like crazy, and it's like, but the high school kids, it's the relationship part. Days I'm having a bad day, there's some times I just I'll vent in my student, just talk, we chill, and it builds that bond where it makes every day fun. If I'm having a rough day, they pick me up, right, and vice versa. So that's the relationship part, and then the long-term relationship of seeing like kids like Matt and stuff who have success and are doing very, very well. When I think if there wasn't maybe myself, or someone else there to guide them in that moment, where would they be?
Right, absolutely.
And
If there wasn't a mentor or a leader or something, yes.
Yeah.
And I can agree with that. Definitely.
I mean, because like I said,
I think that's for everybody. I think everybody has a mentor, and I think everybody needs a guidance.
I think everyone definitely does. And some people do, some don't. Some don't have the proper mentor, which I've seen. And that's why I think as a person, maybe you guys force yourself in, like we talked about earlier. I ever forced a kid to talk to me because I could tell his mentors were not the best, But I think everyone needs one, because you can't do anything on your own.
Yep.
Life's too hard. Like, you got, build relationships with people, good people, and people are going to elevate you and make you better, and people that you can rely on if it's 5 years down the road. I think that's what life's about, and if you don't do that, it's pretty lonely.
Yep.
We all need somebody at some point. We all have to also be that person when someone needs you, like, you're there for them, because it's going to be reciprocated later on. So.
Definitely. No, I agree. Well, I think we're out of time here.
Yeah, I mean, I told Matt I'm glad we did it. Like, I'm glad.
Yeah, this is awesome.
It's really good to catch up. I mean, I've been so
definitely.
You guys are busy, so I'll get out. And
definitely got to do something, brother.
Good.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming, Coach. Yep.